It was just a few weeks ago that we talked about this particular reading about treasures in heaven, riches on earth, so there's no sense to repeat that. So, what I wanted to do today is I reflected on the fact that my funeral count has gone way down, okay? So where I was doing 2 funerals a week, now that has been replaced by the fact that I'm doing 2 baptisms a week. So for the entire month of November, I've been doing 2 baptisms every week, which is a good thing, right? Smile, that's a good thing. You can be happy about that. And I've been doing quite a number of 40-day blessings, so that means there are quite a few births. So I wanted to take a little bit of time to maybe clarify the idea of baptism. Because unfortunately, and obviously this is not meant as a universal statement for everybody, but it is a growing trend that I see that is very disturbing. The reason I am telling you all is because you are here and you understand the concept of baptism. What I want you to do is to go out and tell those of your family and your friends of our community who are getting baptized about how Father Angelo is complaining about the way baptism is being done. So I want you, because this is what works best in the Greek world, is you hear something, you tell it, and you say, hear what this person said. Ah, that's where that comes from. So what I want you to do is gossip in a good way about what I am going to say. All right? What has happened, or what is happening, is that baptism has fallen into a magical ritual. There are many young people that are baptizing their children because their parents, the grandparents of the children, wish that child to be baptized. When I ask the parent of the child who is being baptized, again, not in every case, but this is becoming a trend. When I ask them, why do you want your child baptized? The answer is because my papu and yaya, my grandfather and grandmother want it. Doesn't matter to me. So now we have lowered baptism to a magical formula. So what we have to be very careful of, and what the message that I want you to spread, is that baptism in the church has been much, much more important than just a magical ritual. It started with Christ. Christ goes to St. John and asks to be baptized by him. And that starts the practice for us. And that is our entry into a salvific life. It is the price that we pay. Now, with that comes the fact that many people within the Orthodox Church, when I ask them what is baptism, they say it is the removal of original sin. Do we agree with that? See, there's Presbyter again. No! This is not Orthodox theology. There is no original sin to remove. Read the prayer of baptism. Not once do you find those words. That is a Catholic theology that is foreign to the Orthodox Church. So if it's not the removal of original sins, what is it? Is the child dirty and we give him a bath, but we do it in the church because it looks good? No. It's much more than that. Water to us as Orthodox signifies 2 very important things. It is death and it is life. Clearly in Noah's time, water was death. But in Christ's time, it became now living water. He says, I am the living water. And through this, and the same thing that he told Nicodemus, is that no one not born of water and spirit can be with me. So it is salvific for us. So when we hear somebody say, I want to get my kids baptized. It's a thing that the church does. It's a check mark that I got to do, kind of like getting married in the church. Then that person should be very cautious about their salvation. Because what they are doing is taking an important and essential sacrament of the church and they are nullifying it. When that child or that catechist, because we've done adult baptisms here, when they are lowered into the water, they are supposed to die unto their old selves, that they have said, I no longer want the life that I had. I want a new life that is illumined in the light of Christ. And when that child comes up out of the water, that child is born again. Okay, we can use that term in the Orthodox Church. It's okay. We're born again unto new life. That's the meaning of baptism. So with that then comes the role of the godparent. And what I have seen here that is another dangerous trend is that we are not giving consideration to the concept of godparent. We choose it at random. We choose a 9-year-old girl or an 8-year-old boy. We say they're going to be the godparent. Then they don't understand the basic nature of what a godparent means. The godparent is supposed to be the person that is there with the parents to help raise that child in an Orthodox life. More than likely, that 8-year-old girl and that 9-year-old boy doesn't know what Orthodox life is. Their godparent is teaching it. So the selection of an Orthodox parent, and it's on the website, is at least 18 years of age, so that they have the ability to do that. So, one of my requirements, or my requirements for baptism, is that I meet the family who's going to get baptized to make sure that I know them and I understand why they want the baptism. And like I said, unfortunately, more than 50% of the time, they don't want the child baptized for themselves. They want it baptized for the parents, for their parents. And we have to get away from this, because this church is not a magic factory that we dip them in chocolate and then they come out sweet. If we're going to step on our traditions, our salvific traditions, then we should not do them. So, what I want you to do, I'm not yelling at you, but I want you now to spread that word and say, hey, and when your kids or their kids come and say, hey, why are we getting baptized? Speak to them about the importance of the sacrament. When they're looking to select their godparent, select someone who will reflect a life in the church that has the values that are consistent with what we as Orthodox Christians feel is appropriate to our faith. From their age, from their education, and from their participation in the community. So I just wanted to take, and unfortunately I said a little bit of time, it's not a little bit of time, but it's a very important subject because there's a very dangerous trend that is happening in this church. It happened in my last church, it happened in my first church, and it's happening here. And it needs to be addressed.